Kilpailussa mukana Ramirent. Kotikatsomon eväät tarjoaa Kotipizza.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to NBDG Tyyni 2021. We're here at round 2 at Ford Disc Golf Course. It's the perfect flight commentary duo back again. Jørn, Idar, Kvig, and of course, Dean Schaub.
Yeah, happy to be back. Looking forward to seeing this Ford Disc Golf Course out here. Big ups to Ford for sponsoring all the tee pads, the baskets, all the course equipment out here in Finland. First on the card, we have Oskari Vikström. You might remember him from his second place performance at Europeans a few years ago in the junior division. We also have Ville Ahokas, 1008 rated. We see him sponsored by Vivo Barefoot. I gotta try some of those shoes. We also have Luukas Rokkanen, a Prodigy disc sponsored player. So we'll see some sweet plastic flying through the air. And also in the Tyyni hat, Aapo Karhi, a 977 rated pro who obviously had a great first round.
And yeah, you see it. It's just 2 strokes, dividing the top 4 here, and going into a beautiful, challenging course here. Some wide open shots, but also a lot of dangerous woods here. Starting off at hole 1, par 4, 221 meters. This is a change from previous years. And you will see here that the green is still tricky. The first shot, if you can land it up here, you're doing really good to basically have a look for bird. But the challenge here is not the first drive; it is the approach where all the trees come into place. So let's see how the guys are solving this.
Yeah, I love this kind of opening hole. You get to really rip one before you have to deal with about 1,000,007 trees out here at the Ford course.
Yeah, this course is on a previous military compound, so you will see some some cool features throughout this round. Like you say, it's just grip it and rip it on here. It's wide open. Shouldn't be any problem for any of these guys. And just wanna lay out, not too much out towards the right hand side, but you can see that Oskar is in prime time position for his approach.
Yeah, if you're too far right, you have almost too many choices for that second shot. You really want to limit your options, keep that mental game tight for that second shot, be a little bit in the middle or to the left.
Yeah, Ville doing the same thing. Nice and clean. Ending up actually a little bit further left than he wants to maybe, but should be a fairly open heiser approach from there. We got Luukas.
Luukas having a really strong season on the Prodigy Disc Pro Tour, coming off a 3rd place in Turku and another top 10 in Tampere.
The most Finnish of the Finnish players here, with the beard, the heavy metal blasting out of the PA, and yeah, a little bit of first hole jitters there, little thrower, which means that he will have a little bit of a longer approach than he wants to, of course.
I always like seeing players like Aapo on the card, sponsored by his local club, it looks like, getting to play with the big boys on the coverage. Way to go, Aapo.
This is a little bit high, it's going to stall out early. No spectators were harmed in the making of this video. That's good. And not the start that Aapo wanted, I think, but like I said, it's wide open on the sides, so no problem. Go around the trees here. Yeah. Wanted nothing to do with that. Smacking it straight down. And like there's one pole. Of course it's gotta be straight there in the middle of his...
Well, made his choice a little bit easier, taking out the straight line. Pretty good shot to get there into after less than ideal tee shot is the best way to put it.
Yeah. Yeah, and here you see the difference the first drive will make. It's a standstill approach from Ville. Easy hyzer. Oh, damn, I think that tree just robbed him of a little ace run there. Oskari going forehand. That seemed to overcomplicate things a little bit.
Yeah, after watching Ville go straight forward, just stand still, rip it across your chest. I mean, far be it for me to second guess Oskari, but that is our job. I agree with you. A little too complicated.
Yeah, nicely done by Luukas.
I'm looking forward to seeing Luukas play. Player I'm not too familiar with, but you hear his name around the Finnish disc golf circles.
Aapo can bring this one up. Got those trees to contend with in the front there. So a little Annie. Yeah. Usually one of the more challenging things with an Annie putt is that it will just go way too low. It's a very awkward hand motion for most players. So
Here on hole 1, you definitely see what's pretty consistent throughout the course, this hard-packed ground around the greens. You definitely want some soft approaches and mid-range game today. Don't want to get too squirrely around the baskets.
it's a great course, but it really eats discs as well. So if you ever want to beat Instant Disc, just a couple of rounds here at Ford, and I think you'll be happy.
Even getting him out of the basket, apparently, can beat him up a little bit.
And Ville gets the bird, while the rest of the group gets the pars. A little bit surprising there from Oskari, but there's plenty of holes to go. Starting off with this one, hole 2, par 3, the pinball hole, 76-meter double mando here. And yeah, the line is straight ahead with a little bit of a turn, but there are about 476 trees before you get there, so just gotta throw it straight and pray, I guess.
Yeah, this hole is definitely why you show up to tournaments early and practice the course.
That's the first possible stop. It's out of bounds on the left-hand side. And he will have to work really hard to even get his bogey at this point. Oskari opting for a forehand. It's a little bit too much hyzer. Hitting tree early as well. Going just a little bit deeper, but it's not a bad thing actually on this hole. It's a little bit more open actually the further in you go, so...
Yeah, you're telling yourself on the tee pad, at least make some meters.
Yeah, standing on the tee pad on hole 2, for me, it's all about just being confident. If I'm confident throwing the shot, I don't really care about the rest because, like I said, it's a pinball hole, so it can go any way, even with a good throw or a bad throw. So you have the confidence, at least you have a good mental game going into your second throw.
Yeah, you trust the process. If the process is correct, you can live with the result.
Aapo also opting for forehand. This is smooth. It's some distance and a little bit kick towards the LB, but just end up there.
So at least Ville's kick made it through the Mando, although it did unfortunately find the OB.
And he's working great to get that bogey. Still have a little bit of tester on the circle's edge there, but great upshot. Yeah. This is what I'm talking about. Oskari will have now an easier third shot, but of course, he will have a third shot, so.
It's been a frustrating year for Oskari, not playing up to his potential. His rating is down 11 points since the last update. I'm sure some of that has to do with the disappointment of not being able to tour America this year, as was his plan.
Yeah. Had a great first round over at the Nevas Disc Golf Course. If you haven't checked that out already, minus 10 is very, very good. But struggling here a little bit on the first 2 holes. Luukas. Just very low for him as well. There we go. Good putt. 10-11 meters.
Yeah, he was definitely on a track there for a double bogey after the tee shot, so he's got to feel like he has a stroke in his back pocket there.
Good comeback. And today, the gallery is here. Of course, it's going to be bigger tomorrow for the final round, but it's good to see that people are coming out, supporting players. And as always, disc golf is a good walk in the park, so why not? Moving into hole 3, par 4, 173 meters. Backhand Annie out here towards the open is ideal, or a long high flip forehand. And then you will see the basket on top here is really challenging for the approach. Super hard packed there around the basket, and if it stands up and roll, it goes down on both sides. So a good little turnover backhand to start off with to get out there will help you out for sure. Luukas here on the box. Beautifully up there.
Yes,
That's where you wanna
sir.
be.
Those are the kind of shots that make me love disc golf. Just that slow turning anhyzer, trying to get it to land flat at the end after you get out of the woods. Just beautiful flights. This hole is playing right at par, 4.03 average for this division.
Yep, and there's the high flip. Good distance and height there from up on. That is as ideal as you're going to have it, I think. See Ville. Opting for a mid, it looks like. Looks a little wide. You can avoid the trees. Oh, that's a nice kick.
That was about the latest turn that you can get and still get out of there safe.
Oskari. A little lower. Nice skip. Great distance. Ending up almost exactly where Aapo is, but with a very different line. Well sold by the forehand guys.
Looks like some good camaraderie on the card. You always like to see that. Let's see what they can do on this, as you said, hard-packed, concrete disc golf green.
Out here, the wind comes into play a little bit as well. Icering just at the right moment is... Oh, no skip! You don't see that often, but there are some rocks there just keeping it down, but great shot. See Luukas. hide and wide, but this is stalling out, getting out a little bit too early. So it's on the green. Open for a long little 13-meter putt.
I think we're getting to know Aapo is a forehand dominant player.
Yep, that's a little bit too much oomph on that one. And we'll be on the end of circle 2. This is looking good if it settles down. Oh, and it's too hot. Both Oskari and Aapo just steaming that out a little bit too much. Looks like you've gotten a little bit of search and rescue help there. From down there, you can't really see much. Just gotta pitch it up. Hope to be pitching it in the basket, but no expectation of that. Just up there. Let's see if we can have the first circle 2 putt. This. Oh. Just 5 centimeters too low. Oh. Airballing down a little bit. Get a little right to left wind as well. Contend with.
Looked a little unsure in the wind there. Let's see if he can jam this comebacker.
A bit more headwind now, so let's see. That's too bad after a great drive from Aapo. Having to spend a little bit too many strokes on a green there.
Saw the deep breath after that putt. I'm sure being on camera, having a little bit of a gallery, it's not easy.
Spiller. Down by 1. Giving us all a colorful start with this green, red, green there. Moving in to hole 4, par 3, 120 meters. This is yet another new hole for Tyyni 2021. 85 meters, there's no doubt about it here, and then just hard left and down. So big backhand hyzer stall shots is good options here for the boys. Let's see how they solve it in the wind, which also is right to left if I'm not mistaken.
I imagine this is not a hole when you're planning out the course that you think definitely got a birdie this one. The stats definitely back that up. Only 17% birdies.
A little tight, but gets through. Nice skip, trickles down there. Leaves it a little bit short, but you know, putting into the fact that he hit one of the earlier trees, I think that was a great result. Because this looks a little bit tight as well, but if it stalls out, you can see it land, but I think it should be on the circle 2 there.
Let's see if Oskari can make something special happen. Definitely not the start he wanted coming in with the lead.
Nice and high, stalling up nicely. If it misses the trees, it goes in just a little early, but looked to be within circle 1. Possibly a little bit obstructed.
I think you don't get a good reaction off the tee pad because the players have no idea where they've landed.
I think you're 100% correct. Aapo going a little bit lower, harder, and just not enough angle on that one, and get some early trees in the opening there by the 80-meter mark, and we'll have to work for that one. Looks fairly obstructed.
We saw this yesterday on the coverage with Yusso. These kind of 970 rated guys against 1,000 rated plus. A lot lower lines, not able to go up and over as much stuff, and we definitely see how it affects the game.
Good little spiked forehand approach from Aapo. Luukas on the edge of circle 2. Oh, no, strings that one up again.
Yeah, 2 in a row for Luukas there. They're gonna start dropping eventually, you'd hope.
So 2 for 2. Oh, and he does. That is an excellent putt from what looks like to be 12 meters. Just grabbing that very last one. And it's pizza times, guys. Have a look at this far out on the side, grabbing literally the last one on there and just get kicked in with a little bit of a high serve. Excellent execution and great putt.
Only 4 holes in, but count me as a Ville fan. He is, even his bogey looked amazing. So, looks like he came to play today.
And then you see Oskari being high, but a little bit obstructed, but surface edge. Takes that one. Which means he's back on even for the round. So, and Luukas is winning out. And he's moving on. Hole 5, par 4, 162 meters. One of my favorite holes on this course. We will have a hopefully a nice little backhand Annie with a stable disc to flat out and land somewhere here. You can see the practice ground for the military back in the days. But all you gotta do here is get it out and far with an Annie or a long, slight hyzer flip forehand. To be able to have an open look towards the approach, which, yeah, it's not easy that as well. You see here, Ville goes with a standstill, mid-range it looks like. Nice and high, hits the branch, doesn't care, flexes out, ended up a little bit right in the fairway, but hopefully has a look. Oskari. He's not going mid-range. He wants some distance off the tee. It's very angled and kicks far into the right there.
That looked like a very overstable disc. It definitely, I mean, I'm sure he's practiced this course hundreds of times, but the full flex on these moon craters and everything, I think you're bringing a lot more action into play. I loved Ville's slow mid-range play a lot.
Low and nice, ending up exactly where Ville's looked like. Now you see the dangers by kicking into the right. You will contend with more branches, more trees. And Oskari just pounds that one into tree, and that's probably all you can do from that angle. With all these craters, as you said, you can end up with some quote-unquote funny stances.
Craters, jagged rocks. Despite all these trees and everything else that we're talking about, this hole played relatively easy at the 3.88 average.
Yeah, easiest hole on the front nine here. Mostly due to the fact that even if you get some trouble, you're usually able to get up and down for a par. Nice little putter, Annie. Linda, that is fantastic. I just realized why this is one of my favorite courses. There's so many Annie shots to be had. I love Annies.
Also my favorite.
Oskari again gives that a little bit too much oomph, and maybe I put a little bit of tester. I mean, this hole even makes the putting go Annie.
Alright, third one in a row here for Luukas. Let's drain one.
Make it happen. Oh, come on. Well, it's getting closer and closer. Oskari, unfortunately, have to show us how funny the stances can be. Drains that one. One awkward stance. That's well done.
Yeah, 1 foot in a basket of pine cones. 1 knee on the ground. Some funky stuff out here at Ford.
Lucas not happy with that one. Ville. Nice little turkey. He's off to a good start here at the Ford Disc Golf Course for the second round of Tyyni.
My name is Johannes Högberg, and today I want to introduce the Trust. This is the first mid-range in our Royal lineup. It's really comfortable in my hand because it's not that deep. I always seem to get a great consistent release. I think the Trust has like the perfect amount of stability. It just has that dependable fade. The Trust is all about smooth control. You get it?
Yeah.
And you can trust me when I say you will see more trees here at the Ford Disc Golf Course as we move into hole 6, par 3, 102 meters. And that reliable fade, well, you're going to need that here. Want to pump something out and then hopefully get in between all these trees, which is approximately halfway through the fairway. Either on the left-hand side, you want to go with the backhand that is a little bit steeper, or you can go on the right-hand side where it's a little bit more open, but of course you need to cover more ground to get to the basket. Tricky little par 3 this, Tyyni.
Yeah, it sure is. Hole 6 is playing above par for the tournament thus far.
Ville opting for that inside line.
Here we see Oskari with a driver again. Seems like he is out to just rip on stuff today. Attack the trees with sheer power.
He shows that outside line. There's fewer trees, but it's a little bit high. Stopping up there in looks to be the edge of circle 2.
See if Aapo can card a birdie here. Maybe turn his round around.
That looked good. Tough forehand hole, but Aapo is showing some good control with his highs and flips, so he's rooting for it to get through there, for sure. Luukas is out to revenge himself and end up in circle 1 after 4 circle 2s in a row for the birdie looks. I like this, a little bit lower. Again, that's circle 2.
He's got the Luukas look. So much to contend with on the ground here. This is definitely not one you want to bring your baseline mids to play.
It's a little bit high, so it can leak out. And ending up almost outside circle 2. just that one. There's always that one tree in the Finnish woods. Good run by Oskari. Oh. Let's see if we can have some fireworks. Oh, had the heights. Missed the direction a little bit. Let's just say bogey. He did. That's an excellent putt.
Yeah, best kind of bogey you can make is when you have a little more momentum going into the next tee. Come on, Luukas.
There we go. Yes. a little bit of a half aggressive practice pump there at the end. Well done. Oh! How did that not stay in?
Oh, Ville.
That's brutal.
Even his misses look really strong. Like I said, he reminds me a lot of Vaino Makala, a countryman who also plays with such a smooth, confident style.
I still can't fathom how it didn't stay, but
He played that hole really well to come away with a bogey.
alright, people have time for revenge here at hole 7, par 3, 94 meters. There is the gap, biggest gap is on the right hand side there for a backhand mid or fairway driver. This is one of those holes where you will expect to have a birdie, but usually you will just end up with having a long birdie look due to well, the amount of trees you have to navigate. But if someone is used to having a birdie look from circle 2 is this guy, so let's see how he plays this. This looked like it was going well until it didn't. I will admit that was almost as good as you will have it. A slightly stable fairway driver, putting it a little bit on an angle. It was about to fade, but just that 20 centimeters too much towards the center of the tree.
Just the optics on this hole make it really difficult. You see the basket straight ahead. You can see it. You can feel like you can almost get out there and touch it, and there's just so many other things that can happen.
Yeah, just look at the run up from Ville here, starting on the just on the very, very end of the tee pad. That is a good drive. Not sure if that was a line he was intended, but the result was it's not bad at all.
I do like that line where you try to push the hyzer through instead of relying on your disc to get flat. If it fades out a little early, you live with it. If it holds it all the way through, you really love it.
This flip is not bad at all. Little circle's edge there for Aapo. Of course, going forehand on this hole will mean that you will have the fade in, quote unquote, the wrong way, but it's well sold by him. Huh. Maybe a bit too much stability for Oskari in that one. Oh no. Yeah, that was less than ideal. Perfect upshot. Just hitting that rubber and just bouncing back.
I caught the tire like a good 2.5 centimeters off the ground, just trying to be very safe and no reward.
Not at all.
Here we see Ville in an absolute mortar crater, trying to run it.
That will be the first gray, hopefully, that we will see from Ville. Aapo following Oskari there. Still no great. What? What? Why is the cameraman giving the thumbs up? That's just harsh.
Yeah. I hope it wasn't for the putt.
Let's hope not.
A lot of respect for this NBDG crew. They've created a media empire in what seems like a very short time.
High quality multi-camera action. Of course, 2021, just a little bit like 2020, not as planned. The MPO Media crew was going to cover all of Euro Tour and European Open, but here we are. Just gotta wait on through, get some vaccines, and let's see each other in 2022, I guess.
Well, also not as planned is Oskari's round so far. There's a double bogey on hole 7. Only 8% of the field. Not loving it.
Luukas. Picking up that. Stays for par through the ground, kicks the tire just to show that you bastard.
Luukas could very easily be on -3, -4, but even through the round. We have -1 for Ville. He also could be shooting hot. See if they work it out heading into hole 8.
Yeah, they're going to need some of that luck here as well on what is the hardest hole on the course. This is hole 8, par 470 meters. It's a beautiful, nice little Annie here to start off with, but doesn't get easy when you need to find the ideal spot, which is probably the hardest tee shot on the course, to be able to sneak it out towards the trees here. One Annie or forehand from the tee box, and then just something straight towards the basket is ideal. But let's see how Luukas is solving this. He gets enough angle and height on this so it will pan out towards the opening. Worst thing that can happen, of course, is that you hit some early trees, and that is a great drive from Luukas. This is a modified hole from previous years, so if this was the 2020 edition of Tyyni, he would be absolutely parked, but of course adding another stroke, adding some extra fairway for you guys to think about here. This is too wide. Get kicked into the fairway, not too bad of a result.
Yeah, we see the absolute thickness on either side. As long as you're kicking out to the tree line, you're gonna live with the result. Seeing the same mid-range from Ville.
But not enough angle. And that is a fantastic 2 kicks. Come on. I mean,
Could have been an absolute disaster. And
yeah, it went from disaster to in a very, very fast time there.
he's still smiling about it.
Yeah, gets kicked out. Out of his hand it looked great, but didn't have enough stability, so...
Yeah, he just juiced it flat yet again. Seeing some weird stuff from Oskari.
This is almost a tomahawk from Aapo. Never gets a chance to flatten out. Oskari too has some work to do. More with that forehand spike Annie with something stable. Hopefully it pans out, but it's out too wide. Just keeps on being in the woods. missing the gap. Stop
Here we
serving.
see the advantage of a perfect tee shot. Luukas staring down the tunnel straight at the basket.
True. Gets true. Oh. Ooh, steams that one, but great shot. Just a little bit too much power, but I mean the line was perfect.
To be past this basket in 2 shots, that's a mistake you can live with.
Yeah, for sure. Oskari is really struggling here on hole 8. Hits the first available tree. And also leaves a little bit low, so it just keeps on flying in towards the other end. So there's a lot of work to be done.
Yeah, Oskari and now Ville just hoping for something where they can put both feet normally on the ground at this point. With
And not do something which is which is a straight shot.
Yeah. Oh, well played.
Yeah, but ends up under those bushes. Have a very obstructed view for his spot. Second tomahawk in a row there. The sound of finished disc golf right there.
Yeah, that had a lot worse result than I initially saw, but this hole can definitely get you. It is averaging exactly 2/3 of a stroke over par. There's been some big numbers out there today.
Good little run from Aapo, but it's a long way off. So you gotta really work it. There's a Ville. The boxer's move, just moving back and forth towards the underneath the branch there.
You gotta wonder if Luukas is just getting cold at this point, yet to attempt his 3rd shot on the hole.
It's a good bid. A very obstructed line by Ville. For the bird and plenty of strokes on the card. Luukas. There we go. Circles edge, strong putt. Again, just sneaking it over the rim, but it's just enough.
It's a good putt, puts you in a good rhythm, the little up and over the rim. A lot of momentum going into the next hole.
Oskari, just a little left.
It's early in the round, but this is gut check time for Oskari. He's got to realize there's another round the next day. He's got to stop the bleeding, put some birdies and pars up on the scoreboard, and realize a lot of golf to be played, but it's getting out of hand.
Luukas is getting 3 strokes in Ville. 2 strokes in Aapo. And 3 for Oskari, which means that he will be leading charge here, going into the last hole of the front 9 here at the Ford Disc Golf Course. This is hole 9, par 3, 78 meters. This is one of those shots where you go, yeah, this should be a birdie because of the distance, and it's just a tunnel, but of course, hitting one of those trees flying by right now means you're ending up in the OB, and we'll be looking at the bogey at best. So just gotta keep it straight, gotta keep it true, and not hit any of those trees for an easy birdie. And it seems like this is one of those holes where you either get a birdie or a bogey.
And current tournament leader Luukas
You wants that bird.
Absolute pure.
Watch out, coming in hot. Great try from Luukas. Left, hitting a tree, but it's before the OB, so we just have a challenging approach instead. Left, hits in the tree, might end up OB or it might be good. No OB mark, so you cannot be a long way off the OB line. This is low. Sneaks over the OB there as well, but will have a very obstructed circle to look for a birdie. Oh, get off that. Yes. Yes, Aapo, that is fantastic.
Yeah, Aapo just surviving the round so far, but shots like that will put you in a good mood. Maybe some birdies on the back nine.
Oskari have no look. He's pitching that up. Well, it's wide open and just in bounds. Not have the easiest of comebacks, as you will see here.
Super unfortunate break there. You think you have kind of a backstop, if anything, to run that putt.
It's like an on-the-knee horseshoe. Yeah, come on. That's just cruel of the course here.
Do I flick it? Do I do this? There's no good option. You have to laugh a little bit and cage it.
Yet again, Luukas is waiting patiently for his turn.
About half an hour between shots for Luukas the last couple holes.
And Luukas is really heating up here at the end of the first 9 holes of the second round of NBDG Tyyni 2021. Coverage by NBDG. So you see the cleanup crew. Just a very short walk into the back 9, which I hope you guys will stick around for as well. So you see the gallery moving in. Here you have it. Luukas is heating up now with a -12 so far, which means he's tied for the lead with Niklas Anttila, who's shooting well. The rest of the guys struggling a little bit. Aapo is so far +3 for the round, Oskari +4 for the round, and Ville +2 for the round, which means they have fallen down a little bit, but there's plenty of goals to be had in the back 9. We will have, surprise, surprise, more trees, we will have more distance, we will have more forward, and we will have more of you guys because you just hit that subscribe button and will click the bell as well, so you get the notification for the back 9, which will be back pretty soon. Again, thank you to all the supporters of NBDG. You can hit that button down there to become a member as well, and we hope to see you guys on the back 9 here for the second round of NBDG Tyyni 2021.